have a confession. In an effort to pack light for a recent short cruise, I decided to leave at home one item that I have brought probably on every cruise for at least the last 8 years. And boy, did I ever regret it. Now, I will share that a little bit later on in the video, but something that I decided to do was ask frequent cruisers, what are the travel items that you absolutely refuse to cruise without? Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now today I am sharing the travel items. I think I have about 40 different items here, and some of them are going to be items that you have at home. Some of them are items that you may have bought on Amazon, and some of them are just hacks or tips, things that you wouldn't necessarily think about, but you may want to add to your own travel items list. Now, even though I have a lot of these items, this list doesn't come from me. I asked in the Life Well Cruise Facebook community, what are the items that you as frequent cruisers always bring on a cruise? There were over 500 different comments. I compiled them all into the ones that were most mentioned, as well as the unique items that were the most upvoted. Now, I decided to put them in different categories, from basics, items that you just cannot leave home without, to gadgets and must-haves, comfort and convenience items for a cruise, health and safety items, and just for fun or unique items. Now, if you're a frequent cruiser, please follow along and let me know any items that I did not mention on this list that you think are things that you always bring on a cruise. And if you are a new cruiser, I hope that this will give you some ideas. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention two things. Firstly, all of the different items that I do mention in this video are going to be linked down below in the description of this video under the title. And secondly, if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Let's start with the basics. These are the items that frequent cruisers never cruise without. Number one, magnet hooks. Now, a commenter shared, these are absolute lifesavers in cruise cabins where space is limited. Magnetic hooks easily attach to the cabin walls and can hold everything from towels to bags. Trust me, you'll wonder how you ever cruised without them. I definitely agree. Number two, packing cubes. So commenters share that packing cubes are an essential for cruises. Not only do they keep you organized, but they help to keep your suitcase tidy and even help you to avoid overpacking. Number three, and by the way, these are all in order of what people bring the most. So a pop-up hamper. Now I have one over here as well, because I think like a lot of people, you might even have these at home. They're so convenient for laundry at home. But I do keep a couple that are ready to go for our next cruise. A reusable water bottle. Now I have to tell you a little story. In my earlier videos that I made, I did talk about bringing a case of water on board because you used to be allowed to do that. And now I don't think any cruise lines allow you to do that anymore. Let me know if I'm mistaken on that. You can still oftentimes buy a case of water on board, at least a small amount of water bottles, but many cruise lines are actually going water bottle free. So instead, it's just a really good idea to bring a refillable water bottle. I like this one because it is stainless steel. It keeps everything nice and cold. A lanyard for a cruise card. Now, a lot of people shared how before they used their lanyard, that they would lose their card and have to go down to guest services and get it replaced. So people reluctantly said, yes, a lanyard is on their must-bring list. Ziploc bags of different sizes. So a lot of commenters shared how Ziploc bags were great to bring with them on excursions. They could put their wet bathing suits in there. They could maybe put even their change of clothes if they wanted to change clothes, or they had their undergarments in here for when they went on an excursion. And one person shared something that is absolutely brilliant. I think I'm going to do this even in the future. And they said what they did with a small Ziploc bag, I don't have one with me right now, but is they actually took squares of toilet paper from at home and they placed them into this little Ziploc bag. And this way, not only for cruises, but just in general, I think on a cruise you probably won't have a problem, but in general, they keep that toilet paper with them in that Ziploc bag when they're traveling. And I just think that is a really smart tip. Credit cards and cash. So cash in particular, people shared that they like to bring those small $1 bills, $5 bills, and those make really good tips. Even if you are tipping room service, you want to have those $1 bills. I usually keep a stack of about 10 or so just in one of my vanity drawers for when I do order room service, or I might keep a few $1 bills in my little handbag in the evening if I go to the bar and I decide to leave an extra tip. A swimsuit, so I think that makes a lot of sense. And some people shared that they actually forgot their bathing suit on some cruises in the past, so this is why it really came top of mind. But the other thing, and I didn't think so many people actually brought this, it's definitely not like a cruise essential or anything, but it's a travel hair dryer. A lot of people shared how they just really disliked the hair dryers that are in the cruise cabin, so they do bring a travel hair dryer. I used to bring this one. This is the Babyless, but instead these days I've been bringing more of like a blow dry brush sometimes. So it really does depend, but it got me thinking that perhaps I should get back to this. Gadgets and must-haves. A portable travel fan. Now, incidentally, when I took a look at the most purchased items on my Amazon storefront, this travel fan is one of the most purchased items. So it definitely makes sense that this is on the items that people pack the most for a cruise, but it did surprise me. Now, again, I'm going to leave all of the links to the items that I am mentioning that are available on Amazon. I will make sure that they are all in the description below this video. A non-surge protected power cube or USB hub. Many cruisers commented on the fact that there are devices that they'll need to charge, and unfortunately most cruise ship cabins, unless you're on a very new cruise ship, just do not have enough outlets and do not have enough USBs. Now, if you were sailing on a Royal Caribbean cruise, by the way, you may know that they've recently changed their policy, so I will leave the recommendations down below in the description. A portable charger along with your regular charger and cables. So those are all part of the electronics that people make sure that they do not leave at home. Air tags. Now this is something that's relatively new because I think even 2 years ago people weren't using air tags, but more and more I'm hearing stories from cruisers and travelers that are saying that the air tags absolutely saved them from having their luggage lost or at the very least misplaced. A light for the bathroom. Now, some people said they bring the motion sensor nightlight. This is really good because it runs on a battery and you can place it either in the bathroom or even right in front of the bathroom so nobody stubs their toe. But other people had a really simple hack, and this was bringing either tea lights. You can just get them from the dollar store, obviously battery operated. And the other thing is glow sticks. And I thought that was a really interesting and smart idea. A sunrise alarm clock. Now, for people who cruise in interior cabins in particular, they have shared that an item that they don't want to cruise without now are sunrise alarm clocks. So it actually wakes you up like the natural sunlight, which is one of the negative points of interior cabins, of course, is that you don't have natural light. So a very smart gadget. Now, if you want to hack instead of the item, what you can do is turn on your TV before you go to bed, and you can set it to the channel that is going to have the bridge. And this way, as it gets light in the morning, you'll actually see the sun come up a little bit and you'll see that brightness. By the way, please let me know if you do any of these things, whether it's one of these hacks or if you bring one of these items, please let me know down in the comments below. Books and or a Kindle. So for many people, they actually said that they want to read, and sometimes they're having so much fun they don't read as much as they thought, but bringing books for a Kindle is an absolute must. Items for convenience and comfort. Now I'm going to start off with the story about the one item that I did not bring and that I regretted not bringing. That was Downy Wrinkle Release. Now people can tell me Steam does the same thing. I just don't think so. So I didn't bring it on my last cruise. And part of the reason was because we were going on a Princess cruise ship. So I knew that they actually do have irons in like a laundry room. So I knew I could use that. And I thought, we're also staying at a hotel and they're going to have an ironing board. Well, don't you think that the hotel that we stayed in didn't have any ironing boards? They did have steamers. So at least there was that, but it really took a lot longer to steam my items that way. But when we got on the cruise ship, we had very little time between activities. And anyway, it was just the way it was. So I couldn't use the Downy wrinkle release, and what I did is I ran over to the laundrette with very little time to waste, and I had my son's shirt and I had the iron, and what did I do?
You're a happy ironer.
I'm not a happy ironer, I just burned his shirt. I actually burned a hole in it. So not good. If I had had the Downy wrinkle release, that wouldn't happen. The other thing also was they had their suit jackets. They were kind of too wrinkled up. We went carry-on only, so we were trying to pack light, but truthfully, I will never travel without my Downy wrinkle release again. All right, moving on to towel clips. So I've got my towel clips in here. This is my little case. I love my pouches. And I also have some towel bands in there. So some people said towel clips, some people said towel bands, but if they're going on a hot weather cruise, these things are coming along. Poopery, and this is an item that I don't cruise without. Now, I used to use the bigger size. It wasn't really huge. I think it was still a travel size, but recently I found the mini, and if you're going on a short cruise, this is really enough, and you could even keep it in your purse or in your travel bag as well. A light sweater or shawl. Now, many people said how they at one point forgot to bring this on their cruise. They regretted it because when you go from one temperature to the other, maybe from your cabin to the hallways that are sometimes a little bit hot, then to the dining room or the theater that can be cold. Well, ladies, we oftentimes maybe have a sleeveless dress or something like that, and it can actually get cold. Flavored coffee creamer. Now, there are all sorts of hacks that people have using their own coffee creamer, bringing their own instant coffee that they really like, bringing their own hot chocolate, even bringing their own tea bags. Extra glasses. Now, I have to say, my husband does this. He needs glasses all the time. I only use reading glasses, but he brings his old pair of glasses just in case the other one breaks. Snacks. Now, a lot of people say, why would you bring snacks on a cruise? But there are many different reasons. Some people say it's because they're diabetic. Other people say because sometimes I just want some Pringles, or I want some licorice, or I want some candy. And even though there's a ton of food on the cruise, there are not going to be those kinds of snacks. And if it is available, it's available in the little convenience store, and it is very expensive. Moisturizing hand lotion. Now, please let me know if you've ever brought this on a cruise or even when you travel. But nowadays, I bring some hand lotion. I'll just show you. I have this little, anyway, that's my sort of toiletry clear TSA type bag where I have all of my different items. But these days, I bring some hand lotion with me because if we're flying, my hands often get dry. But it's happened to me that I've been on a cruise and I have not been able to find hand lotion anywhere. And I honestly don't want to pay the high prices for the beauty brands that are sold in the duty-free shops. A sun hat. Now, in addition, of course, to sunscreen, a sun hat is really good protection against the sun, both for men and women. Health and safety essentials that cruisers would not travel without. The first one is seasickness medication. Some people said they like Dramamine. Other people said that they like Bonine. But this is something that just in case they would not want to cruise without. Over-the-counter medication. Now, I actually have my over-the-counter medication in this little pouch. It says, warning, I bought the drink package. This was actually given to me by these two lovely ladies that I met on a cruise, and they gave that to me, so super nice of them. But I really have, I guess it's the over-the-counter medications that I might need just in case, sort of cold medicine and stuff, because just in case, throat medicine, etc., I think it just never fails. The time that I do not bring this on a cruise is the time that I will get sick. First aid items. Now, everybody's first aid items are going to be a little bit different. So make your own little mini first aid kit. For me, it always includes regular Band-Aids. It includes blister Band-Aids. It even these days includes moleskin. I find that works really well. Also, antibiotic ointment, cortisone. You just never know. So all of that is a good idea to bring. Disinfectant wipes. Now, not only do many people say that they use their disinfectant wipes to wipe down some of the surfaces in their cabin, for instance, the telephone, the TV remote, just some of the surfaces. But of course, when you're flying, you might want to bring this to wipe down the tray. You might want to have this handy to even wipe down the armrest. And by the way, please let me know. I've been flying a lot more recently, and I know I've been saying I really should share a video about flight anxiety and even things to bring on flights to make even sitting in economy a little bit more comfortable, please let me know if that might be something that you'd like to see. Please let me know down in the comments below, yes or no. A small sewing kit. Now, these do not have to cost a lot of money. You can go and you can pick this up at the dollar store, but even better, look sometimes on cruises, you may find a small sewing kit in your cabin or otherwise even at a hotel. Take a look, and if you have that, just save that for a future trip. Now, something that nobody ever talks about, and it usually isn't on any packing list, but if you know, you know, it's feminine hygiene products. Now, for new cruisers in particular, something that you should know is that the stores on cruises aren't open at all times. So they are going to close at maybe 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So if you have a little bit of an emergency, you might not be able to get what you need. At the same time, if you're in a cruise port, the shops are actually completely closed. So you do want to bring maybe more than you need, or even if it's not exactly that time, bring that just in case. Sun protection. So of course, sunscreen. Now, by the way, this is a reef safe or a reef friendly one. I'll leave that linked down below in case you're interested. Lip balm with an SPF. Now, the one that I usually use, this one is Elizabeth Arden because I bought it on the cruise. I forgot mine at home. It cost me $27, so don't do that. Instead, the one that I usually like is Neutrogena. It's a tinted lip balm. It is very, very good, and it's about like $6, so a much better value. And organic aloe vera. Now, this aloe vera is non-sticky. It is so good, and I have to say, recently I saw that they are now selling it in the travel size, which is so much better than the larger one. I've tried to bring it in little bottles, etc. with me, which hasn't been the most convenient. So I'm so happy that they now do have it in the travel size. Just for fun and unique items. Now, by the way, at the end of this list, you are going to have to tell me if there's any items that are not on this list that surprise you. There definitely are some that surprise me, especially based on what I can see sells the most on Amazon. But in any case, one of the things that a lot of people mentioned, and I do think I know why, are these basically reusable straws. Now, this one is sort of a metal straw, and I have brought it on cruises a couple of times, but more recently, the straws on cruise ships haven't really been bothering me because the kind of material they're using, I think, is some sort of organic, reusable type of product or something. And basically on Norwegian Cruise Line in particular, I think it's the best one. It almost really just feels like a regular straw. But the other kind of straw that people are taking with them are these silicone straws. And it seems like basically most people that are bringing these straws tell me that they're sailing with Carnival. And I know exactly why. Because on Carnival, they use candy straws. And that is the one straw I really just cannot do, the candy straws, because it changes the taste of the drink. Please let me know if you know what I'm talking about and if you do bring your own straws on board down in the comments below. Travel binoculars. So these are great, of course, in Alaska, but a lot of people say that they bring these on every cruise that they go on. A day tote or a backpack. Now, I definitely have used this, especially if we're going to do any excursions where we want to be hands-free. Now you can see it folds up really, really small. So this can be something that you just put into your suitcase. And even if you want to, at the end of the cruise, if you have some souvenirs, well, you have an extra bag. Now, the next item that people swear by are these plastic luggage tags. They are reusable. So this is great. And this way, your paper luggage tags, you don't have to fold them up and staple them. You can put them in these plastic holders and reuse them instead. A white noise machine. Now, I was surprised at how many people said that they travel with their white noise machine. We did try it, but honestly, we ended up returning it to Amazon. It wasn't something that worked really well for us, but I do have a little tip for you. What some people shared is what they will do is bring a travel fan, and the travel fan, in addition to, of course, giving you a little bit of a breeze in the nighttime, especially when you're sleeping, it does tend to get a little bit stuffy, but it does have that nice white noise effect as well. A hair wrap towel. Now, this is definitely not a cruise essential, but it is something that I think a lot of women do bring, because especially if you do have long hair, it's very humid, especially in the Caribbean or in the Bahamas. And when it is, it does seem like it takes our hair a long time to dry, so this definitely helps. Now I'm going to leave all of the links to the items that I mentioned in the video linked down below in the description. But I am curious, are there items that you thought would be on this list that aren't? There are definitely things that I bring on cruises that are not on this list. So please let me know if it is the same for you. And let me know as well if you're a first-time cruiser or a seasoned cruiser. Please let me know either way down in the comments. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I would love to have you here within the Life While Cruise community. Bye for now and happy cruising.